In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 31 vintage styles that are so hot right now. These items are trending and you are not going to want to miss out on this video. Hey there, my name is LeeMeier. I'm the founder of ListingToFreedom and the EmpoweredReseller.com, and I'm on a mission to help 1,000 resellers make $100,000 in the next 12 months. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. My name is LeeMeier and I've made well over $100,000 flipping used goods on sites like eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. And now I'm on a mission to help at least 1,000 resellers hit that $100,000 mark and do it this year without the hustle and in very part-time hours. To help you out, I've got a couple of free gifts down here in the description below this video. You'll find my brands list as well as my $100,000 reseller challenge. In this free 5-day challenge, I give you everything you need to get on that path to making $100,000 for yourself this year. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. All right, I am ready to go. First up, I've got vintage board shorts. Now, what we're looking at is specifically women's, but men's vintage board shorts sell just as well, if not better. But I wanted to show these to you because they are pretty recognizable, easy to spot when it comes to vintage. They do have that shorter inseam, as well as the laces up the front. There's a pair of Ocean Pacific that sold there for $65. So with all of these that I'm showing you, these types of items, it doesn't necessarily have to be based on certain brands. Of course, that does matter. But when it comes to these vintage styles that are trending right now, that are hot right now, it can be just random brands that are selling for quite a bit of money. Next up, I've got Juicy Couture, which is a big brand, but it's one that you want to be very selective with. And specifically when it comes to the vintage items that are trending, these track suits are hot. And so with these, you'll see a lot of big writing across the front. A lot of the pants have that writing as well. So for example, there's the writing down the leg of that pant. Those sold for $38. This jacket there went for $55. So some pretty good prices on these. You'll see writing on the back as well. So that hoodie there, that one went for $40. We got another couple down there around that $30 price point. So if you find these, you'll also notice that they are velour. So that is the fabric type, the material type to keep your eye out for. Now, this is a really surprising one. This is from Pink by Victoria's Secret, and these are fold over top yoga pants that we're looking at. Some of them aren't, but what I am specifically showing you here are these fold over pants because these are selling for some crazy amounts. And I only wish I would have kept the ones that I had. So let me scroll down here a little ways. They're selling into the $100. So we got a pair here. It looks like it has pink zebra with that writing on the backside. That one sold for $135. We got another one there that went for $46. Another pair here for $140. It looks like another one here for $180. So if you come across these, definitely pick them up. I did pull up some of these actual sold prices where the best offer was accepted. I do have a video I will link to up here. And there is a pair here where that sold for $100 there. And I'll walk you through step by step how to see those sold prices for yourself when a best offer was accepted in that video. Next is spaghetti straps, specifically from the Y2K era. This trend was really popular then, and it's trending now. And so you'll see this in dresses as well as tank tops. And these are some of the prices that these are selling for. By the way, I do have what I'm showing you today filtered down to $25 and above, just to weed out some of those lower price point items. But I want you to see what is possible with this style of shirt and these items that I'm showing you today. So we got one here, that one sold for $65. Got a shirt there. It says Chevy Girl. That one sold for $25. So some pretty decent prices on these considering what they are. We got another one here for $26. Another shirt there for $35. That one sold for Another one there for 30. And again, it doesn't really necessarily matter the brand with these. Here's a really good example of a brand, A Briar, that's not particularly the best brand, but it is trending for those vintage items and specifically with these styles. So $25 for that. I do see some really good keywords in here. So I'm seeing Y2K and goth. With these, you want to be sure that you're going for those aesthetic keywords, including those in your listing. I do have a poster I will link to over here so you can get those listings whipped up in a snap and get them in front of the right buyers. Next are Jinko jeans. And this is one that if you come across, you do not want to sleep on these because these can sell for hundreds of dollars. I did pull up everything with the word Jinko in the title, but I'm talking about the pants here. The shirts, decent amount, $40, jacket there, $45, but really the jeans are what are selling for hundreds of dollars. So we got a pair there that went for $205, and we got another pair here that went for $334. Another pair down here, this went for $280. What you're going to see on these is skeletons is really common, but you're going to see a lot of embroidery. And so that one happens to have a bulldog on it. This one up here did have that skull. So those can sell for in the hundreds of dollars. Next up are vintage Lug Souls. By the way, if you are enjoying this video so far, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and let me know that you would love to see more Bolo content like this. Now with a Lug Soul shoe, these have that really aggressive tread on the bottom like this. And I'm going to show you here some brands that are not particularly great brands, but are selling for a decent amount. And actually this one that I just showed you, this is by a brand called Soda. This is pretty much like a very low value brand, but that one did sell for $40 just because of that price. We got a pair of Skechers here. That one went for $50. We got some down here that I wanted to show you that actually went for a decent amount considering they're right here, Lower East Side. So if you don't recognize the name of that brand, it was from the store that I believe is no longer around, Payless Shoe Source. And that one sold for $50 just because of the style of that shoe. Probably brand new, those were only like $20. So the prices on these Lug Soles it's going to depend on the condition of the shoe. Of course, that comes into play a lot with the shoes. But with this is a trend that is really, really hot right now. So if you do come across any shoes like this, it says late 90s, early 2000s, that's that Y2K era. Those are really popular. So that went for $42 there. Next up are vintage ski suits. I'm noticing right now, I'm actually going to change this really quick to have men's and women's. I was just on women's. But with these, what you're looking for is this really colorful design. Now, those are pretty well sought after. We got a suit there that went for $64. Got another one here for $60. And so again, this is more about the look rather than just the brand. We got a Sears one here. That one went for $50. So again, it does not have to come down to the brand with these types of items. Next up are varsity lettering is what I'm trying to say. And so I did pull up sweatpants. You're going to see this on shirts as well, on hoodies, on shirts, on anything you wear on the upper body in addition to those shorts and pants. And what you're looking for with these are raised lettering. I'm actually going to show you here. I do have this pulled up so you can see it a little bit better. But with this, you're going to have these raised letters. And that's what I call varsity lettering that you're going to see on these. And with this pair of pants, they're just showing that it has some bleach marks on it. This one did sell for almost $44 for those, even with those stains. And that's that pair right there. We got a pair of shorts there that went for $29, a pair of sweatpants that went for $34. Again, I happen to just pull up the pants, but if you find this trend on shirts as well, on hoodies, on jackets, we got a jacket here. That one went for $34. This is another trend that is really sought after this season. If you're enjoying this video, then you're going to want to check out my Big Money Brands complete library. In this library, I give you nearly 800 brands that are selling for big money, including done for you research of average sale price, sell-through rate, and I even give you all of the tag photos. And if you want the launch pad to getting your reselling business business up and running quickly and making money, then you're going to want to check out my ultimate reseller starter kit. In the starter kit, I get you everything you need to get up and running and start bringing in those first sales. Next up are vintage rugby stripe shirts. These rugby shirts are super popular right now, and they are very thick. When you come across them, you will know what it is that I'm talking about. They are heavyweight, and they typically have a different color than the rest of the shirt. For example, a white collar and then red and blue stripes. That is how those rugby shirts look. And these, again, are very popular. So they're selling for quite a bit. This Land's End one, that one sold for $60. We got a polo Ralph Lauren that sold for $50. Got another Columbia one over here that sold for $36. American Eagle, $24. LL Bean, $25. So some of these brands that did make this style of rugby shirt. Again, these are really popular right now, especially with unique colors. So this pink and purplish one, that one went for $65. Next up is vintage micro skirts. So these are little tiny skirts. And what you're going to notice with these, you're going to see a few trends that keep popping up over and over. What you're going to notice with these, the ones that are really popular right now, even more so than just the denim skirts, are actually the skirts with pleating. So here's a really good example of one. This one went for $100. That was an Abercrombie and Fitch skirt. $100, that was a wool skirt, and it has all of that pleating down at the bottom. Got another one over here that's actually a Burberry, so that one went for $78. But again, it does not have to be a certain brand. Here's one that is the brand's not listed. That one went for $32. We got another one here that has a little bit of pleat down there at the bottom. That one went for $40 just because of that look. Got another one there, again, a no-name brand. That one went for $25. Got a few more down here. This one probably went for over that $100 mark. We got another Abercrombie one down there that went for $100 plus dollars. We got another one over here that is actually from the brand Hollister, and this one went for $67. So again, it shows that you don't have to be dependent on just having good brands. Next are vintage cargo pants. And these are pants that have those cargo pockets on the side. So we got a pair of Gap here. I'm going to zoom in on that so you can see it. It's got those cargo pockets up on the upper thigh. That pair sold for $100. We got another pair there that went for $50. But again, it does not have to be a certain brand. Gap, it probably did not cost that much out of the store, but these are selling for a pretty decent amount when you can find those cargo pockets like that, because that is a really big trend in today's fashion world. So keep your eye out for those cargo pockets. Another item very similar to those cargo pants are what are actually called paratrooper pants. So with these, they're going to be a much lighter weight material, and they're going to have more pockets. So we've got Abercrombie. This is a really popular brand when it comes to those paratrooper style pants. Those ones sold for $140. You'll notice that there is a tie around the bottom so that it can be cinched around those ankles. Got a Polo Ralph Lauren one that went for $112. Got another Polo one here that went for $80. So you can see the prices on these are pretty good. This is a Old Navy. This falls under one of those brands that I recommend staying away from for the most part, except for certain instances. And this is one of those instances. So this one went for $40 because it is that style of paratrooper pant with the cinching around the ankle and those cargo pockets and that lighter weight material. So you got another pair of Gap there that went for $90. Another Polo went for $70. So again, keep your eyes out for these. Next item that I've got for you are vintage Nordic sweaters. And so these are sweaters that have any sort of Nordic vibe to them, any sort of Nordic print to them, knitted into the material, not really print, I guess. So I got, looks like some caribou there. Got another one with moose on it. Snowflakes are really common with this Nordic style. And so these can sell for quite a bit depending on the material and depending on the brand. So we got Eddie Bauer there. That one went for, looks like $49. This moose one from Ralph Lauren went for almost $200, $186 there. Dale of Norway is a really popular brand. in this type of category, and those will sell for $100 to $200. I see one right there for $84. That's kind of a more plain one. If you come across ones that are, see if I can find one in here. If you come across ones that are a little bit more unique design, wild design, those are going to sell for a little bit more. So we got one right here. That one sold for $200. That is an Olympics one that I'm seeing that one went for $200 because of that Dale of Norway again. Next is lace up jeans. With these are so popular right now, and they are big money. So what I mean by lace up is up the where you would find a zipper or snaps that will lace up, or they will also have laces on the sides of the jeans, and it may be just up the lower part of the leg, or it could be the whole length, like the pair that you're seeing here. That one went for $85, and this is by a brand called Mud, which is again like a very low value brand, but it's only selling for that much because of that style. So keep your eyes out for these. We got another lace up there. That one actually does not look vintage to me. We got another one here, 25, another one's $97 there. So keep your eye out for anything with that lace up. They are a little bit harder to find. We got a LEI pair here. So again, another not very high value brand, but it did sell for this much because of that style. And it does look like it's laced down to about the knee and then open from there down. The next brand I've got for you, or next item that I've got for you, are patchwork jeans. And so what I'm specifically talking about with these are jeans where it's like this or it's like this. And so this Xanadu, that's actually a pretty popular brand that made these back in the day, and that they are trending now. So $32, $40, they may sell, even upwards to $60, $80 depending on the size. Got another one there, $38 that one sold for. So keep your eye out for those vintage jeans. Looks like we got another interesting pair there for $35. I've got lots more still to go through, but I do want to mention that if you are enjoying seeing these vintage items to resell for big money, then you're going to want to make sure to check out my newly updated vintage clothing guide, where I give you over 100 different items and brands to be on the lookout for in this very lucrative niche. Next up are Sherpa lined jackets, and I specifically pulled up denim jackets here. And if you find any of these vintage jackets with that Sherpa lining, that is that kind of fur lining, and you'll see that around the collar. Those can sell for right around that $50 to $100 mark. So we got that Levi's there for $47 with also that awesome acid wash. Got American or Abercrombie and Fitch over there that went for $60. Again, it doesn't really matter the brand with this. If you find this Sherpa trim, even in brands that aren't maybe quite so recognizable, go ahead and pick them up. They're still going to be selling for right around that $50 mark. Next, I've got vintage Y2K era purses. You'll see that I did pull out Coach because a lot of items were coming back with that. And what I really want to show you in this video is other brands, maybe not so high-end brands that are selling for a decent amount when it comes to these vintage trends. We got Dulce in here. We've got some other, maybe bigger brands in here. So what I want to actually show you are some brands that aren't quite so big, items that are selling for maybe a little bit more than what you might expect when it comes to the brand, and they're selling for this much just because of the look. We got this one here that went for $60. We got a vintage Gap one here that one probably went for right around that $30 mark. A Guess bag here. This is a really good example of what this looks like in that Y2K era, kind of a rounded baguette style. I'm not exactly sure what you would call that style of purse, but that's kind of what they look like with that more rounded look to them. And that one went for $152 for a Guess purse. And these are selling, again, for a surprising amount. We got another one there, another Guess one that one went for $75. You're seeing a lot of brands in here that are, that you might expect a little bit more for. Here's another unbranded one That one went for $24 for that, just because of the look. We got a 9 West half moon. Okay, that's probably the right style of bag there. That one went for $28, the right style that I was looking for, that name that I was looking for. Next up are vintage denim skirts that are long in length. So we already looked at those micro skirts, but it's not just those micro skirts that are selling well. It's also skirts that are that long floor length, and especially denim skirts. So you're going to see a big variety here of what is selling. So you got one with this button up down it. It says $55 is what it sold for. I am noticing that they did use cottage core. Again, if you are looking at using keywords in your title, which you should be, and all of those different cores, maybe it's hard to keep track of, then you're going to want to make sure that you check out my poster where these will put the keywords right in front of you, so they're right at your fingertips right when you're listing. Got another skirt here that went for $30. $30 to $40 is pretty common for any of these skirts, and you may not think that they're worth a special especially a lot. Got another one here for $36, $38. I do find that a lot of resellers pass these over, and again, it does not have to be any sort of special brand with these. It's more about the look. We got a Studio West one. That one went for $25. Genealogy $42. Levi's one there for about $40. Angel's Denim. So that's a good example of a brand that is not very high value. That one still sold for $25. Next up are Y2K baby tees. So these are super popular, really trending right now. And what these are tight fitting t-shirts, and they have this little small sleeve on them. So it shows a lot of the arm, maybe a little bit of the shoulder. That Abercrombie one went for $25. We got a Twilight one over there that went for $30, but it's really the huge variety that are selling for quite a bit. This one with monkeys on it says "Don't burst my bubble." That one went for $38, but there's all sorts of variety with this one. We got another one over there with that raglan sleeve. That one went for $50. It does look like a Disney baby fat here that went for $20. Got a Janis Joplin ringer t-shirt. That one went for $45. So again, keep your eye out for these types of shirts. The next item that I've got for you are vintage overalls. These have been trending for a while, but they are still hot. They're selling for around that $40 to even $100 mark, depending on what it is. We got a pair of overalls there, $75. Another pair there, $75 of Liberty is the brand of that one. Got another pair of red wool overalls. That is interesting. That one went for $48. What I was specifically trying to pull up here, and I probably should have put denim, are denim jeans, or denim overalls. This pair, Calvin Klein, that one went for $100. And then the other kind of category that is similar to this is short alls. So short alls, those are just short overalls, and these can sell for quite a bit as well. So we've got the brand Lee. This one sold for $50. We got another one here that has a dog and some flowers on it, so that is really interesting. That one sold for $30. We got a Eeyore one here, so if you do find any Winnie the Pooh, any Disney characters, those can sell for quite a bit. We got a Lady and the Tramp one there. That one went for $36. So these are some pretty interesting items to come across. Next up are denim jumper dresses. And these are kind of similar to those overalls and short alls that we were just looking at. But what you're going to want to look for with these is that denim that usually sells for a little bit more, and as well as some of those characters that we were talking about. With these, I would suggest using the keyword modest. That can really help. I've also had people buy these for post-surgery because they're easy to put on. So that could be another option for keywords for you. This one right here, I want to point out, this is a Chip and Dale, the little chipmunks from Disney, from the Disney cartoon. That one sold for $100 for that. That was one of my favorite cartoons. Probably not an item that I would buy though. We got another one with cats here on that one. That one sold for $35. So some interesting ones here. We got one that has a little bit more of an overall look to it that did sell for $50. I see somebody did lot some together, 5 of them for $100. So that is a really good idea with these. We got another Looney Tunes one here, Sylvester and Tweety. That one sold for $30. Next, I've got band t-shirts, and these are crazy popular right now. I am noticing that I am on the women's category. I am going to leave that there just for demonstration purposes, but men's band t-shirts are selling equally as well. And some of these are pretty surprising for how much they're selling for. We've got a Bruce Springsteen one. That one sold for $70. We've got AC/DC there. That's actually not a very big name brand or a very high value brand, I think is what I'm going for. That one sold for $34, it looks like. Of course, Taylor Swift. There's so many different options here. We got New Kids on the Block there. That one sold for $30 for that. We've got, just all kinds of different, whatever band you can think of, there's probably a market for that. We got a Van Halen one that went for $24. I see that is from Forever 21. We got a Fleetwood Mac for $20. We got Willie Nelson for $39. That one went for. So keep your eye out for those band tees. Next are penny lane coats. So this is a specific style of coat. The other name for it is a Afghan coat. So you'll often see both of those used in the title. And what these are is they have fur trim around the collar as well as the cuffs of the sleeves and often on the openings as well. And these are hot. These are big money right now. So we got this one here that I just showed you, Y2K. It says brown suede. This was also popular back in the 70s, but that one sold for $200 for a no-name brand. For that one, we got a Guess one there. That one sold for $104. Got another one there for $90, $300 for that one. That one looks like it's probably from the 70s with that leather on it. You got a denim one there. So that is a Y2K one. That one did go for $170, but you can see the prices on these are really good. And there are a lot of items that are selling for that $100, plus mark for these. So keep your eye out for this style of coat. We got one here that's a really good example of that penny lane look. That one sold for $300. Next are vintage muumuus. So with these muumuus, you're going to want to specifically look for items that are made in the USA. Often they are made in Hawaii and they will say that on the tag. But there's many different brands. Anthony Richards is a popular one. That one sold for $27. We got this vintage orange and green one, Poppies, it looks like. That one sold for $50. Another one here, that one sold for $85. But all different styles. The more unique that it is, obviously, the more it's going to sell for, as well as the bigger sizes do tend to sell for more money as well when it comes to muumuus especially. Next are men's vintage Hawaiian shirts, as well as women's. I'll show you the women's here in a second, but the men's are selling for, right around $30 to $50, depending on the brand, depending on the condition, of course. We got one here that went for $40. Another, that's a Tommy Bahama. That one went for $60. Got another Tommy Bahama there for $70. So these can be pretty good things to pick up if you come across them. And then as far as the women's, what these are a little bit shorter cropped shirt. So we got a good example there. That's a Tommy Bahama. That one went for $25. We got a one here that went for $24. Again, it doesn't necessarily matter the brand with these. Another one went for $25 there. It doesn't necessarily matter the brand with these. One of the brands that I keep seeing pop up over and over is this Jams World. So I actually did pull up the tag for you there. It is very 90s kind of look with that. So that is what that looks like if you do come across those. Next are vintage running shorts. And the prices on these are pretty good. So we've got Adidas there that went for almost $64. We got another Adidas over there for about $35. We got some Nike, some more Nike down here, more Nike. Those went for almost $40 for those. Another Adidas for about $40. So some decent prices when it comes to these vintage running shorts. The way that you're going to tell that these are vintage for the most part is that they're going to have that shorter inseam that was really popular. So we got actually Champion here, that one went for $75 for Champion. Here we got another pair of Champion shorts that went for $55. So another good example of maybe not a higher end brand, but still selling for a decent amount. The next item that I've got for you are shiny soccer shorts. That is a mouthful. And what you're looking for with these are that material that is really shiny. It's going to look shiny. It's going to feel shiny. And these, for some reason, there is a market for these. Got Reebok here, went for $25. These Umbro that I just zoomed in on, those ones went for $67. Got another pair of, I guess those are Diadora. Those one went for $25. The prices on all of these are pretty good. We got another pair of Umbro right there. Those went for $65, even with the wrinkles. We got another Nike there with those stripes. Those went for $25. So keep your eye out for those soccer shorts. I'm seeing another pair of Adidas there that went for $60. Next, I've got vintage tearaway pants. So what I mean by these is down the sides of the legs, you are going to see snaps. And so it allows the pants to just kind of be ripped off. So I guess you can get into the game. I'm assuming they're for basketball as well as soccer, but you're going to see these types of pants, and they're selling for right around that 25 to 35, maybe closer to $40 mark for these types of pants if you do come across these. I see a pair there that went for $35, another pair here for $48 those sold for. Next, I've got vintage color block. So this is another one trend that has been trending for a while, that has been popular for a while, but it is still popular. And so I just put in vintage color block. This is all items that come under that category that fall within that search range. So you're going to see a variety of items here. You're going to see everything from polos, that one went for $129, to jackets that went for $85. You're going to see some sweaters in here, even a purse right here, $30. Another jacket here, that one went for $70. But again, this is about the look and not necessarily the brand. So another good example right here, $35 for a no-name brand, casual aisle. But what you're looking for with this are those brightly colored patterns and those big blocks of color. That is what color block is. Next are vintage nightgowns. And I did put in nightgowns, but you could also search for vintage lingerie. That's another popular or similar keyword for this. But this did allow me to pull up a few different types of items to be able to show you. So we got a Victoria's Secret there. That one went for $29. The items that I wanted to show you that might be a little bit surprising are these flannel nightgowns. So that one went for $25. We got a Victoria's Secret flannel nightgown. That one went for $29. We got another one over here from LL Bean. That went for $35. So keep your eye out for these older style of sleepwear. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, as well as consider subscribing to the channel. I've got lots more amazing content headed your way. I'll catch you in the next video soon.